Autoweb. Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Autoweb.
Yo, everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley. Bam! President of Dealer Synergy, the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group, and I'm here with the one and only.
Malik Young Jedi Bronner.
All right, so Malik and I are going to be going over something very special, you know what I'm saying, because we're about that life. So Malik, tell the people what we're doing today.
What we want to go over today is inventory, all right? It's a challenge, not going anywhere. I know some of us are hearing that inventory is coming back, but I don't think it's going to return the way that it once was, right? And if you're an OEM like Ford, I mean, inventory for you has meant something completely different. And we actually did a national mystery shop not too long ago, guys. And what I found out was that a lot of us could be doing a lot more with these opportunities. But buyers calling in for a vehicle that you don't have and you can't order, telling them that you don't have it and that you can't order it should not be plan A. So what I want to go over today, Sean, is 10 qualifying questions that I've been going over with my clients, with my dealers, that they've been having a tremendous amount of success utilizing. And what's great about these questions is you don't have to ask all 10. You can pick whichever one that you like. You can specialize and you can put them in your own words. You can get your combo breaker on, right? But what I'm finding is inventory always comes back to qualification. If you ask these questions within a conversation and you pace them the right way, I guarantee you're going to be able to capitalize on a lot more of these opportunities. So that's what I want to go over today.
All right, so if I'm hearing you correctly, Malik, Young Jedi, what you're saying is that this is an objections and rebuttals masterclass, but specifically, we're going to isolate, or you're going to isolate the situation with inventory, because inventory is still a current issue. It might change, but not today. As of right now, inventory for the vast majority of our industry is an issue. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely.
All right. And what I heard you say is that you came up with 10 qualifying questions. So help me understand how does asking certain questions going to help me overcome an inventory situation?
Well, asking questions allows you to seek first to understand before you're understood. It allows you to collect the dots before you connect the dots. Here at Dealer Synergy, we like to say it's like you're collecting more pieces so that you can put the puzzle together. That's what questions allow you to do. And more importantly, they allow you to control the conversation, okay? Buyer calls in, you reach out to a buyer. Control is everything, okay? So that's what these questions are gonna allow you to do.
All right, so let's get this popping.
So first question, right? Buyer calls in, you're reaching out to a buyer. Again, the situation is you do not have the car. You can't deal a trade, no order, no nothing, right? Malik, what do I do? Well, the first question that I like to ask, let's say it's a new vehicle. Let's use Ford, for example, where we've had a lot of issue getting some F-Series, some Mach-E's, things like that. The first question that I'm asking buyers is, hey, Sean, are you aware of what's kind of going on with the inventory situation? Has anybody explained to you what's going on with new cars? Has anybody explained to you what's happening with inventory in general? Now, this is a very powerful question, guys. I know we think that buyers know that there's an inventory challenge. They don't. They really don't know. It's asinine that I can walk into a dealership with a check for $10,000 and not leave with the car that I want. It causes frustration. Doesn't make any sense. I have a cousin. We're like brothers. Watches everything that I do. Reached out to me a couple of months, Sean. I think I told you. He's like, hey, man, I'm trying to get a vehicle. I have $6,000. So after I got done laughing at my cousin, I said, oh, because he clearly live under a rock. And I brought him to some dealerships so I can show him what's going on. And this is my cousin. Watches everything I do. He didn't know that we were in an inventory situation. So what do you think your buyers are doing? Okay. So educate your buyers. It's not like there's some national station where they can go to find out all of the automotive news. Let them know what's going on. So as opposed to telling, hey, we can't get a Ford F-150 Lightning, Sean, while I'm looking in, confirming the availability, has anybody explained to you what's going on with the F-150? Why it's so hard to get the Lightning? Why it's so hard to get a Maverick? I guarantee you your buyers are going to, one, appreciate the fact that you tried to educate them. Two, and this is probably the most important thing, you're changing the experience from the beginning. Because the 4 or 5 other dealerships that I called, Sean told me to go pound sand. And here you are offering an education, okay? And I think this is probably the most important part of it. It keeps them on the phone. Because you could have easily told them, I can't get you an F-150 Lightning, end of the phone call. So I say, if you get an opportunity to educate your buyer, take it. 1000% you should take it, especially if you care about this industry. So that's the first question. So hopefully you wrote that down. I'm going to go over it again. Sean, are you aware of what's going on with new vehicles? Are you aware of what's going on with the inventory challenge? Has anybody explained to you what's going on, why this is happening? That's my first question, right? Now, my second question is, hey, so Sean, what's making you lock in on this particular vehicle? Now, I can formulate it any way I want. I can say, what's making you lock in on this vehicle specifically? I can actually, what's making you lock in on a new vehicle in this market, right? Again, these are the questions that I need to ask. If it's a leasing customer, well, then it makes sense that you're looking at a new vehicle. But I can't tell you how many people I've spoken with that said, I just kind of wanted something new. And then when I explain to them that you have to sell your soul to the devil, just joking, right? To get a new vehicle in this market, not that they're not willing to get a new vehicle, but they're a little more open to looking at pre-owned, based on the situation. So that's the second question. What's making you, and the question should not be, why are you looking at new? Why are you looking at this vehicle? No. Sean, would you mind sharing with me what's making you look into new with everything that's going on with the market, right? This is after I've explained to them why it's hard or why it's so difficult to get a new vehicle. Based on everything that's happening, and I kind of do want them to feel isolated a little bit, what's making you do that? What's making you bang your head up against the wall? I want to know. If there's something about my vehicle that's worth this much of a challenge, I should probably know what it is, right? And this is literally what I'm saying to buyers, okay? So that's my second question. What is making you lock in on something new, particular vehicle, right? Third question, and sometimes these go in order, right? Sean, I mean, what was about the vehicle that you like? I can't tell you how many times the buyer is calling in, and we mystery shop, so I know. They're calling into your dealership, they want this vehicle, you don't even ask them what they like about it. Well, what was about that vehicle that made you give me a call today? Well, I'm just kind of looking for something to get me from A to B. Well, guess what, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? You may not be a Mach-E customer. It may not be for you. Again, but if I say it, and we all know this, if I say it, they tend to doubt it. But if I can get the buyer to say it, it's true, okay? So what was it about that vehicle that you like? What drew you to that vehicle, okay? And again, offer to put some options in front of them that have those things that they want. And the way I set it up is, hey, Sean, so listen, we can keep our eyes open for this vehicle that you want, but based on the situation, right, and kind of what you're telling me you like about it, if I were able to show you something with the X, the Y, and the Z, you want to make sure you repeat back whatever they liked about the vehicle. And of course, similar mileage options and pricing. Is that something you'd be willing, not interested, willing to take a look into? And what we'll do is we'll keep our eyes open for this new vehicle that you want. Now, because our buyers feel like they don't have options, they don't have maneuverability, I'm having a tremendous amount of success by asking that question. This is what we want. We want options. We want to be able to have maneuverability. So that's a great question. So Sean, I don't know if you want to tag in here, but I can keep going.
No, right? I'm letting you do your thing, brother. This is good. I'm proud. I'm a proud papa right now. Right?
So my fourth question, right? And this is, again, I'm going to appeal to their intellect. Let's say I try to flip them, they don't want to be flipped. No, Malik, Sean, that's the vehicle that I want. I appreciate you, but that's the vehicle that I want. Okay, not a problem. So with everything that's happening, with the inventory shortage and things like that, what's making you lock in on one particular? Just because a lot of my buyers have found it to be so frustrating, but what's making you do that? Again, I want them to feel a little bit isolated, and this is always a keeping up with the Joneses situation. Hey, Sean, I mean, here's what the other buyers are doing, right? The smart buyer, here's what they're doing in that situation. I can understand that you want what you want, but what's making you do that? Okay, again, the reason why I have to ask this question is because I don't want the buyer, I don't want them to feel like they need to be dishonest with me. I want to give them that opportunity to come forward and let me know what it is. Very seldom, but sometimes you do get someone who said, hey, Malik, I have a transportation company. My boss says that that's the only vehicle that we can get. It has to be a Sienna LE. Well, guess what, guys? If I don't ask that question, I don't know that. Okay, so I say ask that question so that you don't allow the person to give you, false information, we'll call it. Okay.
So Malik, if I can, just to jump in, what I really like about this is one, because you quoted Covey before about, seek first to understand and to be understood, but begin with the end result in mind, which is the second habit. What happens, unfortunately, with unprepared, or worse, untrained and unprepared automotive professionals is they react to the situation instead of creating the environment. So what I'm hearing, like, let's go over the first couple of questions that you had said. Have you heard what's going on with new vehicles, meaning like the shortage and the inventory crisis and the chip shortage, et cetera? What is making you lock into this? All these questions, you're trying to gather field intelligence to understand their mindset and understand what their expectations are. And depending what they say, this is going to give you a different where you can go. The one that I like, not the most, but what I think that our audience should like the most so far is, what about this vehicle did you like? Or what about this vehicle interests you? Because to your point, if somebody's looking at a particular vehicle, it might be the color. It might be certain features. It might be gas mileage or fuel economy. It might be that it's an EV, it's an electric vehicle. It might be that it's got a 4x4. It might be a third row. So the particular vehicle that they came in on, that they were calling about, or they submitted an internet purchase request on, might not necessarily be the one that they want. And Malik, this is so good, especially on the phones. When we do the mystery shopping at Dealer Synergy for thousands of car dealerships across the country, it blows us away. And I know it blows you away, blows me away, blows Ella away, blows everybody away, that these sales consultants and BDC reps, they'll answer the phone. And if somebody says that I'm looking for the 2022 Ford F-150, they'll be like, okay, can I get your name and number? If they even bother to do that. And then they go check. Why? Like, why are you going to run around and do all this excess work if A, it's not needed, and two, if the vehicle is not available, et cetera? But by you putting these questions in, it allows that BDC rep or that salesperson the opportunity to figure out plan B. Obviously, at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to try to find a win-win. We're trying to find the exact vehicle, the exact specs, the exact expectations that the prospect wants. But the reality in the current environment, it's not happening. People want something, but they're not getting it because either A, let's go over the whys this is not happening. The inventory shortage, which is what the whole conversation is about. But not only the inventory shortage, even if the vehicle is available, it is more expensive than it has ever been before. And so they might not be able to afford it. They might not want to afford it. They might not be able to qualify an approval on it at this, price. So this is giving us options. The more options that we have, the more tools in our toolbox, the higher chances of success we have. Here's a quick analogy. I don't know if you ever use this as a trainer. It's like a raffle. I mean, you could buy one raffle ticket and good luck with that. You know what I mean? Again, if there's 100 raffle tickets that were sold and you only own one of them, you got 1 out of 100 shot of actually winning that raffle. But if you bought 10 or 20, now you got 10 out of 100 chances, or you got 20 out of 100 chances, you got 25 out of 100 chances to win. So if all we do is ask just one question and that answer, we might be 1 out of 100 shot to put a deal together. But the more questions, they're like buying more raffle tickets. You like that analogy, brother?
I love it.
Yeah, I just freestyled the shit out of that.
Yeah,
Let me get some.
Yeah,
there you go. You jump in.
No, because I love it. Because again, when we talk about, people will come in and they won't want that vehicle for a bevy of reasons. Sometimes you find out you don't.
Oh shit, bevy.
You'll find out you don't fit in the back seat. You find out you don't qualify for that vehicle. You find out, oh man, I didn't know. I don't like that color. There's a bunch of reasons as to why. Now, here's I'm already reading your minds. Well, Malik, Sean, I asked them if they're open to other options. I'm gonna tell you how you ask. Hey, Sean, was that the only vehicle that you were interested in?
Yes.
What do you think he's going to say? Well, you know what, Malik, just sell me whatever. It doesn't really matter. Again, we're making some levity in the situation, but your words have power, okay? We know that they're open to other things, but I'm not going to tell you that, Mr. Automotive Sales Professional, because people like to buy things, but nobody wants to be sold, right? So don't sell them on the vehicle. The goal is not to get them from a Maverick into a F-150 or whatever. The goal is to get them sold on the options, right? The features, right? That's what drew them to the vehicle. So when you're getting them from another vehicle, again, the question is that the only vehicle that you were interested in? Is, hey, so what was it about that vehicle that you like? What drew you to it? What was it about that vehicle that made you give me a call today? Oh, I like that it had a 6-foot bed, it's a crew cab, and it's got great gas mileage. Those are your hot buttons. Use those, especially if you sell cars, because I want them open to options when they come here. Okay, so if I could show you something with the 6-foot bed you're looking for, right? With this feature, that feature, you want to repeat back what they said. and of course, similar mileage options and pricing, you'd be willing to take a look at those. I can't tell you how much easier you're going to make your job. You're not trying to sell them on something they don't originally want. All right, let's get back to the flow, right? So let's say I've tried to flip them. I did it the right way. I tried to get them to come off the vehicle. They don't want it. I want that vehicle, Malik. That's the vehicle I want. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm going to challenge you to Mortal Kombat. That's what I'm going to do. Now, disclaimer, the buyer has to like you before you take them down this path. If they don't like you, this is going to be, Malik, I don't feel like answering all these questions. Click. Okay. So, and I've always said this in training. I'm sure, Sean, you will agree. You've been in business for about 19 years. You have award-winning content. Everything we teach you, it works. But if the buyer don't like you, I don't care what you say. You can have a tongue full of silk. It won't make a difference. So make sure that they like you, trust you, believe you before you take them down this path. So let's say again, Malik, that's the vehicle that I want. Well, my next question will be, okay, Sean, so if you're aware that there's an inventory shortage, how long have you been looking for the vehicle? How long have you been searching for the vehicle? And I want Sean to tell me, I've been looking for 6 months. That's a long time, Sean. Yeah. Even if he said something like 3 months, I've been looking for this long. I've been state to state to state to state. I'm going to build on, okay, and what have you been seeing? So hard to find it. You think, right? Okay. Then they have an old saying, Sean, you know, if you keep making lefts, you keep making rights, you're going to end up in the same spot. At some point, wouldn't it make sense to make a left? You got to change the game up a little bit, right? What do they call that thing when you keep doing the same thing, expecting different results? What do they call that, Sean?
Insanity.
And you don't strike me as an insane person, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. What are we doing here, right? Can I make a suggestion? This is how you open your buyer up. Okay, you have to get them to kind of look at what their situation is, right? How long have you been looking? I can't tell you how valuable that question is. Now, here's my follow-up question. So what is your timetable moving forward? So you've been looking 2-3 months. How much longer are we going to be prepared to keep going, to do the Book of Eli thing? Sean, how much more time are you prepared to dedicate to finding this vehicle? Now, I don't care if Sean says, Malik, if I don't find it by the end of the week, or if he says, you know what, Malik, I love my current vehicle. I'm willing to fight this for 6 months. I want this car. Here's my next question, because I'm going to challenge him on this, right? This is what we, well, that's not the trade hook yet, but I'm getting to the trade hook, right? So if Sean says, I'm going to wait 6 months, 2-3 months, whatever it is, here's my follow-up question. Okay, Sean, hey, look, I'd be doing the exact same thing, especially if it's a vehicle that I wanted. My question is, because I want to make sure that I help you, if 6 months goes by and you still don't have the vehicle, what would you do? This is the question that we don't ask. And I don't know if it's because we don't have the confidence to ask, but if I really wanted to help a person, I want to know that. And here's the main reason why I asked that question, because your buyers don't think that far ahead. And again, it's not a question of, you know, whether we're smart enough. Again, I'm used to being able to come into a dealership and get what I want. It is beyond the realm of comprehension that I won't be able to find the vehicle. But if you put it in front of them, you'd be surprised at what they say. It typically sounds something like this. Well, if I can't find it, Sean, I guess I'll look at something else. I was kind of looking at this vehicle. Well, I was also if you've ever seen Menace to Society, no, you just messed up, right? That's what I'm thinking of the buyer. Okay, you just messed up because you just told me, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, that you're not locked in this particular vehicle, right? And again, I'll make it work for them. Okay, cool. So look, continue your search, right? But based on your situation, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket, Sean. If you trip on the way home, you'll starve to death, for God's sake. Let's be proactive about this. While you're looking for that vehicle, again, if I could show you something, or I can just reset it. What are some things that you need in that next vehicle? While you're looking, while we're keeping our eyes open for the vehicle, what are some things? Why am I asking that? Because I want them to look at an in-stock vehicle, right? So if you can't find it, what would you do? What would our next move be? You'd be surprised at how they're going to talk themselves out of the vehicle at this point. Now, let's say you run into a buyer who, well, Malik, if I can't find it, my vehicle's great, we're happy, I don't need this vehicle. I'm going to wait. I challenge you, okay? If that's the case, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, what was it about the vehicle that made you reach out to me in the first place? What is it about the vehicle that's not doing it for you anymore? Because my mindset is this: if you're happy at home, why are you in the club, bro? What are you doing here? Because this is a relationship business, right? It means that there's and again, I've learned this from Sean, LA, Karen. If we focus on solving problems, this is how we make the most money. I'm trying to figure out what problem is that vehicle not helping you solve, Mr. and Mrs. Customer. Like if I was talking to a good friend who's in a relationship that is subpar, I would ask my brother, my sister, what's going on at home, right? What's happening there? And then my follow-up question is, Okay, well, Sean, if your vehicle is over 100,000 miles, it's out of warranty, killing you on gas, what is making you put up with that nonsense? Why are you doing that? Especially when your vehicle is worth a lot to me right now. What is making you do that? I need them to tell me. I need them to tell me, well, Malik, I don't know if it's worth that much. Well, Malik, I don't actually think I can. This is where you need your customer, right? So yeah, what is making you, like, why are we on the phone? Okay, this is what we call the trade hook. Now, what I love about the trade hook, the way I use it, I'm very systematic with it. Sometimes we're on the phone, guys, and we just ask about trade willy-nilly. Hey, you got a trade? Because I guess you feel like you should ask it, but my advice would be to ask it with purpose. Okay, if they're teetering, trade hook. If I'll keep my current vehicle, then go after the trade. Go after it with purpose. Because if you go after the trade without a purpose and they don't have a trade, then it's like Street Fighter when you did the sure you can and you missed your finishing move. You're like, okay, you did that for nothing. So I say use the trade hook with purpose. Okay. So that's question 9. My final question is this. If you run into a buyer who will Malik, I'm going to keep my current vehicle.
Back up.
Okay, we'll back it up.
Because explain the trade hook, because there might
explain the trade hook. Okay.
Yeah, because first of all, why is it called a trade hook? And then what is the word track for the trade hook? Because people are listening to this and you're assuming everybody is at the young Jedi level or the Jedi master level.
Absolutely. So trade hook, and it's not going to sound like Sean B. Bradley. He's going to correct me, but trade hook is essentially going after that person's current vehicle. And the reason why we want to do that is, for one, I mean, your vehicle is never going to be worth more than it is today. Okay. And my lenders love to see a good trade. Okay. So that's why we're going after the trade. And the way that I would do that is, again, so Sean, what vehicle are you driving in right now?
I'm driving in a 2011 Buick LeSabre.
LeSabre? He's definitely an OG. Some of y'all don't even know what that vehicle is. And how many miles?
There probably isn't a LeSabre that old, by the way, but whatever.
How many miles do you have on LeSabre?
Man, I have about 89,000 miles.
Is that it?
Yeah, I'm old, man. I don't drive a lot.
Now, do you own the title outright, or is there a payoff?
I own it outright.
All right. Okay, awesome. Now, is there anything else that I should know about it?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I put the chrome rockers and I put like a vinyl top on there.
Really? Okay, so it's an original. I can appreciate that. Well, Sean, if I can get you more for that vehicle, if I can potentially get you more for that vehicle in its work, would you consider selling it to us? Ask me why.
Why?
Well, because I pay cash money for trades. Also, your vehicle is never going to be worth more than it is right now. You may not know this, but there's an inventory shortage, right? What does that mean for you? It means that some vehicles are harder to get, but it also means that your vehicle as it is worth a lot more than it's ever going to be. So I have to pay through the nose to get your vehicle, right? So again, if I'm a buyer who I want this vehicle and I'm not sure what chips I have on the board, your trade is a great place to get started. Okay, so that's what we call going after the trade hook. I hope I answered the question.
100%.
Cool. All right.
So folks, you got to understand something is that the way that a car dealer is structured, it's the vehicle of interest, it's the trade-in vehicle, technically called the current vehicle that they're driving. It's going to be the initial investment, which is the down payment, and then the monthly investment, which is going to be the monthly payments. So you've got 4 different boxes, call it a 4 square or 4 quadrants, whatever you want to call it. Again, you need to be able to slide from section to section to section at will to be able to figure out how to put a deal together. So I commend you on that. You're learning very well, my brother, man.
I was trained very well. So my final question number 10, if you run into a buyer who they're going to stand firm on what they want. And mind you guys, this is not a bad thing. This is a good thing. I love buyers who know what they want. And I will tell a buyer that I appreciate the fact that you know what you want. Makes you better than 50% of my other buyers. I love buyers that know what they want. But if we reach the point where I've given them my suggestion, I've given them my game plan, and they don't want to take it, well, now I need to know what.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Attention auto dealers. You need an opportunity to do business. AutoWeb is one of the largest suppliers of high quality leads. High quality buyers. At a 10% closing ratio, you will be at less than $190 per car sold. Don't just settle for what you get. AutoWeb can fully customize your results through targeted markets and/or zip codes, and as a partner, you will get premium placement within search results. Who better to do that than literally the people that invented automotive internet sales? If you want to sell more cars more often and more profitably, then you need AutoWeb.
Well, now I need to know what their next move is. So question 10 is, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, because I want to make sure that I help you, what is our game plan? What is our next move? Because I want to be involved with whatever step they're thinking. And more importantly, and I will continue to say this, your buyer does not have a game plan. I'm gonna say it again. Your buyer does not have a game plan. If they can't find the vehicle, the typical answers are going to be, well, Malik, if I can't, my game plan, I'm just going to keep shopping around until I find it. Okay. I'm going to stay on them no matter what they say. The reason why I'm asking what your game plan is because when they give you whatever lollipop, bubblegum, paperclip thing they have, I'm going to dismantle it in front of your face. But the reason why I need to do that is I have to isolate what the real objection here is. If I don't know where their mind is, I can't move them. What's your game plan? Well, Malik, I'm just going to wait because prices are too steep right now, and I'm thinking that prices are going to come down. Is that what you think, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? Okay, well, then allow me to let me engage, right? The price of everything in general, is it going up or is it going down, Mr. and Mrs. Customer? Going up, right? Okay, and do you see that trend moving any other direction anytime soon? Probably not, right? My question is this: if you decide to wait, that's fine. But when you get the vehicle, do you want to pay more or do you want to pay less? You want to pay less, right? Then what are we going to do here? Again, I'm going to put the ball back in your court because based on what you said, you want to pay less. So again, make it make sense to me so that I can best help you. Okay, again, what's your game plan? Maybe they didn't like our price. Maybe they didn't like our markup, whatever, right? What's your game plan? I want to keep shopping around Malik until I find somebody who can give it to me at sticker or under sticker. Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I'd be doing the exact same thing. I applaud you for that. My question is this. If you happen to go to the next dealership and the price isn't what you're expecting either, have you considered what you do then? Well, I mean, what would you do? What would our next move be? Again, you don't think that far ahead, okay? What's your game plan? What's your game plan? It will reveal that they don't really have one, and then you can give them a game plan, okay? Even if the game plan is, you know what, Sean, I'm gonna keep my eyes open for the vehicle. I'm sure you're gonna do the same. We got a better shot at if we work together. I'm sure you know. I'm gonna reach out to you in a couple of days' time because inventory is all over the place. Keep you, in the loop as far as what's happening. All I ask is that you reciprocate the love. Fair enough? Guys, that's a win because the buyer could have easily told you, oh, you don't have the vehicle? Okay, fine, I'll keep calling around. But now this buyer, for one, they love me because I tried to help them. I gave them the education. I let them know what was going on. They're gonna be looking forward to my next phone call because of course they're gonna wanna know what's happening with the inventory, right? They allow me to keep them in my pipeline and I get a chance to stop them before they do something that may not be advantageous to them.
So Malik, this is a lot of information. And for our viewers in the Millionaire Car Salesman group and our listeners on the podcast, I want to just recap. I want to kind of go back. This whole conversation that we're having here on the podcast and in the group live session is to help equip automotive sales professionals, BDC reps, and even managers with some tactical strategies that are going to help them with the current inventory situation. And let's reverse engineer this. What I mean by that is what is happening. You said before quickly, but I caught it. I don't know if they caught it, that we mystery shop a lot of stores. And when we do, can you go over the most common fumbles or most common mistakes or the most common massively debacles because they're not prepared with your questions and the strategy? What is the typical real life situation that's happening right now when people call dealerships looking for vehicles that don't exist or they're overpriced?
Your buyers call in asking for help and you don't say this, but your words say to them that I cannot deliver you value. That's what you tell people when you say, we don't have that vehicle. Oh no, that vehicle's sold. There's a sale pending on that vehicle. I don't know. The order banks are closed. We can't get that vehicle.
Stop. That's what I'm looking for is that, guys, this is managers, owners, listen to us. When we're mystery shopping thousands and thousands of rooftops, we're talking about tens of thousands of automotive professionals at these dealerships. Do the math, right? And it is almost like a separate pandemic with how egregious people are fumbling these phone calls. They're saying things like the order banks are closed. Click. It's like facts. I just spoke at a NCM 20 group and we mystery shopped a very respectable 20 group. And a lot of people, kind of fumbled this aspect here. I'm going to repeat that. A lot of dealers, salespeople, BDC reps, and even managers on TOs are not asking the right questions. So if I'm hearing you correctly, Malik, when you're saying to us right now in this training that by us not being prepared with the right questions, the right word tracks, the right responses, we are not only not providing value, but we could frustrate people. We could offend people. I mean, especially, can you imagine if it was you guys that was looking for a vehicle and you've been searching for days, weeks, months for a vehicle and you can't find it. And the answer you get, it's not here, it's sold, or it's pending, or the order banks are closed, and it's almost dismissive. So again, seek first to understand the why, because, and we didn't talk about this at all, if I may, because I was trying to let you shine, but let me, can I tag me in? I'm in, bro. Is this, our goal should be, and this is deep right here, is that we want to sell them something now. We need to push the momentum. Sales is about control of energy. Either we're controlling this at the dealership level or the prospect is controlling this at the prospect level. So if it's me, I don't care if I'm a sales rep or a BDC rep, my goal every time I take a phone up is I'm selling that person. Whether I do or not is not the question. In my mind, my mindset is I'm not going to defeat myself before I even take the freaking phone up and like, oh man, we have no cars. The order banks are closed. Oh, wait, well, guess what? FITFO, figure it the fuck out. And sorry for the Christians, figure it the fudge out. You know what I'm saying? So again, you can't just fumble it. And how can you figure it out if you don't gather field intelligence, if you're not asking questions? There's an actual type of selling called the Socratic selling method. It's selling by asking questions. And I say this all the time. My other analogy I'm going to throw at you besides the raffle ticket thing is a puzzle. When you get a prospect, I don't care if it's a phone up or an internet up or even a walk-in and they're sitting at your desk, you don't know anything about them. So it's like somebody just poured a 1,000-piece puzzle on your desk and you don't even know what the picture is. And the puzzle pieces are upside down. So all you see is the brown cardboard on the back. And every question you ask, metaphorically speaking, you're turning one puzzle piece over and it's a picture. And then after you turn enough pictures over, you could try to rearrange the pictures so you could get a clearer picture. The clearer picture you have of the scenario, the better your ninja skills with proper dealer synergy training is going to be able to how you could form that value package proposition. So am I onto something?
No, mindset is key, man. You have to want to win. You have to win. If this is good, because I've talked to people who do other forms of sales. Foot Locker, for example. Mm-hmm. I'm coming in for the new Jordan, right? Mm-hmm. Again, I'm 100% commission. Coming for new Jordan. It's sold out. Instead of telling the customer, oh, we don't have those Jordans, if I'm smart, okay, well, Jordan's kind of hard to get. But let me ask you, what did you like about that Jordan? What drew you to that sneaker? What sticks up? Oh, my son just needs a new pair of sneakers for basketball. My son, you have to want to win. You got to want to win, okay? And as far as the inventory, like what we're doing now, it's not good enough. It's your job to follow up with that buyer anyway. You might as well ask them some questions before we get there. It shouldn't be my plan A to follow up with you. That should be the last thing that I do.
Again, for me, I'm disappointed when I'm listening to a phone call, like a mystery shop phone call, and that sales rep or that BDC rep doesn't respect the opportunity. You know how much money the dealership spends in marketing and advertising and branding? You know how much the manufacturer spends in marketing and advertisement and branding, and then the CRM and the technology. And I mean, it's super expensive. And we finally draw a prospect there. We can't just assume that just because somebody's ringing the phone, our response should be, it's here, it's not here. Because listen, people, this market is going to change. It's already starting to change. And if we are only selling it's here, it's not here, you're going to starve to death. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're going to starve to death when the market, flips. I don't say it's going to go all the way back, but it's going to go partially back. That makes sense? Malik, how do you want to close it out?
Let's role play this out.
All right,
we don't always get a chance to do that.
Let's go.
Role play it out so I can show you how I would utilize these questions. You want inbound or outbound? How you want?
Let's just stick it's I'm calling. I'm going to be the prospect. You're right. the sales rep. Again, and I'm calling.
New vehicle, can't order it, don't have it, can't deal a trade.
Guess what?
I got to figure it out.
I'm going to tell you this right now because I'm going through this. This is hysterical. I've been waiting 3 months already on a 2023 Lincoln Aviator Black Label Grand Touring. Like, that's a lot. And one of my clients in Miami, amazing dealer group, but this is real. So let's play this out for real.
Call in.
Okay, Karen, pay attention. And I'm not talking about my wife. I'm talking about my client that's sold me this car that I've been waiting for. So
Hit me with the ring.
ring.
Thank you for calling ABC Motors. This is Young Jedi speaking. Are you calling about one of our specials?
No, I'm actually interested in purchasing a Lincoln.
Okay. All right. Check you out. All right. What kind of Lincoln are you looking at?
Definitely, I'm looking at a 2023 Lincoln Aviator, black label, Grand Touring.
Yeah, the black. I was looking at it on my way in. You got great taste. Well, I'm getting that pulled up. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Oh, my name is Sean.
Sean? How do I spell that?
S-E-A-N. The only way to spell it.
I was getting ready to spell it the wrong way, Sean. I'm glad I asked you. How do I spell your last name, brother?
B-R-A-D-L-E-Y.
Sean Bradley. And in case I need to reach back out to you, Sean, what's the best number to do so?
I don't know if I want to give you my number right now. It depends how this phone call goes, to be honest with you. I don't want somebody just like harassing me.
Oh, is that what you think? You're concerned somebody's going to call you 1,000 times, Sean?
Yes.
Is that the challenge?
You're not going to call me 1,000 times?
Well, then I'm not going to do that. How's that sound?
You sure?
Promise you.
All right. So then my phone number is 555-1212.
All right. Homework or so?
That's my cell.
All right. Now, when it comes to the Black Label Grand Touring, Sean, what was it about this vehicle that made you give us a call today? What'd you like about it?
I think it's just a sexy vehicle. I mean, it's American luxury. You know, it's a beautiful vehicle. And from my research, the Black Label is the top of the line. It's the pinnacle of class and, perfection.
Gotcha. So you're looking for some top of the line. You like something that's nice, right? I understand that. Okay. Now, has anybody kind of let you know what's going on with new vehicles and the way the market's kind of shifted recently?
No, actually,
okay.
I know that obviously there's a pandemic and there's low workers, and I heard something about like a year ago a chip shortage, but that shouldn't be affecting anything I know, does it?
So let me kind of give you a short version, right? So pandemic happened. I'm sure you were there. I was there. We were all there, right? It caused mass chip shortage, which caused a huge deficiency in our inventory. Now, what does that mean for you, Sean? It means that some vehicles are a little harder to get. Not impossible. It just means that some are a little bit harder to get. So that being said, Sean, with everything that's happening with the industry, right? What is making you lock in on a 2023, Black Labels specifically? With everything that's going on, what's making you lock in on that?
Well, the first thing, the reason why the 2023 is this, I only lease vehicles. I'm a business owner. And so for me, I could write off the entire car payment to my business. If I finance the vehicle, I can't write off the whole thing. I can only write off a small portion of the depreciation, whether it's $15,000 or something stupid like that. So just business-wise, it makes more sense to lease. So I figured that if I want to lease, I want to get the newest version. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to get a 2022 leftover, if there is any anyway. I just figured I want to get the newest shit.
All right. Now pause. Now, if I have the inventory, I'll go here. So Sean, let me ask you, if we stick new, if I could show you something that's going to have that same sexy feel as the Black Label, Grand Touring, something that's top of the line, great mileage, great options, great pricing, based on your situation, because you're in a lease right now?
Yes, I am.
Based on your situation, is that something you'd be willing to take a look into? Say no.
No.
All right, cool. I can understand that. Now, how long have you been looking for the Grand Touring?
I've been actually looking for probably about like 6 months now.
6 months? You said you're a business owner?
Yes.
So I'm sure you can understand the concept of time and 86,400 seconds in a day. That's a lot of time to dedicate. It must be a very special vehicle. Moving forward here, Sean, what's your timetable? Like, how much more time are you prepared to dedicate?
Yeah, well, my lease is coming up. Like right now, we're in the end of September. My lease is going to be up probably in November. But with Ford Lincoln, there's the pull ahead program and things like that. So I could turn my lease a little bit early, or I could extend my lease. So I'm not really landlocked, but sooner the better for me.
I'm sure extending it would qualify you for a better rate, just kind of where rates are going and things like that. So let me ask you, if we're coming up on that timeline, you still want the Grand Touring Black Label, you can't find it, I can't find it, Sean, what would we do? What would our next move be?
To be honest with you, I haven't really thought about it. I assume that I'd be able to find it, and it's just been a little bit difficult. I guess I'm going to need a vehicle. I'd say probably at first I'd extend the lease, but if I knew that it was going to be another like 4 or 5 months, well, I can't wait that long. I'd probably look at something else.
And you could extend the lease, Sean. Here's the thing though. You don't want to extend the lease though, do you, Sean?
No, I want to get a new one. That's why I leased the vehicle. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So again, what is our game plan then? What are we going to do here?
Well, that's why I'm calling you, because I want to buy a car. That's about waiting.
Gotcha. So again, if you're looking for this vehicle, right, you're going to continue to look for it, right? You can't find it. Like, you're not willing to look at anything else. What exactly is our game plan? If you don't want to extend, right?
To be honest with you, I would.
What is your next move?
Well, first of all, these are like Lincoln Aviators are gorgeous vehicles. So I would probably say, what's the model right under the Black Label, and then I would just want to know if like, what am I missing? What am I giving up if I drop the black label and get the top of the line, but non-black label? And then maybe what I did find out, and now that you bring it, I never even thought about this. What's your name, by the way? Again?
My name is Malik.
Malik, again, sorry about that. Is maybe I could get them aftermarket. So if there's something that I can't get in the package, somebody told me before, for example, way back in the day, I'll never forget, I bought a car and it didn't have a sunroof in it, and I wanted a sunroof, and they literally, after the market, installed the sunroof. So I would see if there's any way that I could supplement what I'm missing by giving up the black label with maybe aftermarket, or maybe I don't even really care about the stuff that's there. But I never thought about it that way because I thought that I would get it.
So let's do this then.
Okay.
When we're talking about the black label, what are some things that you love about the black label? What are some things you're going to absolutely need in the vehicle?
Well, the black label has a special grille and special rims, but I think now that you mention it, I think that we could probably put them in afterwards.
Absolutely. If something that you want to look into, okay. What are some other things that you like about your current vehicle that, well, Malik, I need the vehicle to have these things, though?
The things that I need it to have, it's an aviator, you know what I mean? So it's pretty much loaded out with everything.
Of course.
The things that I personally need is the navigation, backup camera, and I just wanted to look dope, man.
Of course. It's a vehicle. I understand your business, so I'm not going to put you in something that's going to have everybody looking at you sideways, man. Okay, so based on what you're saying, right? And again, Sean, you called the right place, right? So you're very smart for giving us a call. I'll keep my eyes open for the aviator, right? But based on what you're saying, I'll show you some top of the line, 23, navigation, backup camera, looks dope. We're in the money.
So I'm confused. So I'm not gonna. You don't have these black label aviators available, or you do, or
so there may be availability challenges with this one.
Okay.
And again, right, I'm gonna keep my eyes open for what you're looking for.
Okay.
But based on your situation, it would probably be advantageous to look at some other options just so you don't
just in case,
just so you don't constrict yourself. You don't want because you want to have more maneuverability than less. I'm sure, right?
Yeah. No. And again, I'm actually curious because maybe I could actually save some money. Because obviously the black label, because it's a black label, it's a little bit more expensive. All right, I like this. Okay, so what are the next steps?
All right, so look, don't listen to the news. Okay, I'm more than confident that we're going to have something that's going to fit all your wants.
Okay.
That's the easy part, Sean.
Okay.
Other than making sure I find you a vehicle, I mean, what would be important deciding where you purchase it?
The best price, of course. I heard that price is a little bit more expensive right now. So again, I'm not trying to pay stupid tax.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah. But you've also been shopping around, and you understand that there's a stupid tax on everything right now, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, at the gas station,
of course, right?
At the gym,
at
the supermarket. Yeah.
I'm sure you had a steak dinner recently, right?
Yes.
But Sean, it sounds like what I'm hearing you say is, Malik, I've been shopping around the business owner. I want something top of the line, but I want to make sure that I get the best deal you can offer me. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, 100%.
But Sean, if I don't do that, I don't expect you to buy a vehicle from us.
Not fair enough.
Fair enough?
Yeah, absolutely.
So am I understanding you correctly and making sure I find you a vehicle, making sure I get you the best deal? These are the most important things to us?
Yeah, if you get happen, we get rock. I told you I'm calling you because I want to get a new vehicle. So
Sean, those are basic things. We do those things all day, every day.
Okay.
Let me tell you about some of the cool things that we do here at ABC Motors.
Okay.
Right? For one, we have a price match guarantee. Okay. What that means for you, if you find this vehicle less than what we have it listed for, same year, make, model, same specs, in 72 hours, Sean, I will refund you 110% of the difference. What does that mean? You'll make money with us. You are never going to be at a disadvantage as far as price, because I understand price is important to you. Okay.
So wait a minute. If I purchase the vehicle from you and I happen to find it somewhere else cheaper after I paid you the money and I left, and I show you that I could get it cheaper, you're going to refund the difference 110%.
Refund you 100% plus 10%. Absolutely.
Yo, will you put that in writing?
Yes, sir. One of the things that we do, right? For one, we also have a loaner service. If you ever have the vehicle in the shop, we'll make sure we step and handle your transportation needs. I have a car washes for life because it's black label aviator. You're going to want to keep it clean, I'm sure, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Fresh to death.
We also offer a year complimentary maintenance and oil changes as a value of about $3,000. How does that sound, Sean?
Sounds friggin' awesome.
It does, right?
Yes.
That being said, when's the best time for you to stop out, start the process? Does this evening work, or is tomorrow morning going to be better for you?
It's about 4 o'clock. I'm probably about 25 minutes away from the dealership. What time are you guys open till?
We're open until 8.
Oh, absolutely. Then for sure. Yeah, I can come in tonight. On my way home.
So I have a 6:15 and a 7:45. Which is better?
Probably 6:15.
6:15. You know where we're located, Sean?
Yeah, ABC 123.
Yeah, West 131 West Merchant Street here in Audubon, New Jersey. Now, when you arrive, you're meeting with my manager. Okay, her name is Franca. Okay, she's gonna make sure that she gives you anything that you need. If you're gonna be a little early or late, just reach out to me so I make sure you're not waiting with anybody. Okay, Sean?
Absolutely.
Appreciate your time. Click.
Bro, you know what I feel like I want to do right now? You ever see like Morris Day? You know what I'm saying? And Prince, you know, OEO, you know what I mean? Like that movie, like in Purple Rain and stuff. Like, I just want to be like, you know, hit it, boom. That was dope, man. That was super fly. You know what I mean? So, like Malik, first of all kidding aside, this whole conversation, I want to give credit to the young Jedi here. He brought this to my attention because he's a national trainer in our company. He's doing and his team are doing a tremendous amount of mystery shopping, call monitors, phone coaching, phone training. And he identified a big challenge that most dealerships are having. And he proactively decided to come up with these and be able to present them to the Millionaire Car Salesman group and the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast. I'm going to say this especially. I'm super proud of you, bro. Your evolution is amazing. You know what I mean? So respect. This is good. I don't even need to ask if you guys got value, because if you didn't get value, you're lying. Stop lying, because it's valuable right here. If not, rewind that shit and play it again. And you still don't. I'm kidding. All right. Anything want to close it out with, bro? Because we got to hit the road.
Hey guys, just want to thank you everybody for tuning in. Stay tuned into the podcast, and we will continue to be here giving the people what they want. Yeah.
Okay, we are out.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Tiana Mick and L.A. Williams. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is sponsored in part by AutoWeb. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. You know, let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.